Hello, and welcome, everyone. It is Friday, and I am upset because Fridays is pretty much my last day where I don't get to broadcast because it's a weekend. Actually, there are exceptions to the rule. We have been doing some shows on Saturday, so I am Lizzie, everyone. I am your host and one of the producers of the LizyT show. I am so excited to be able to be here another day, another show, another amazing day. So we have today another woman on fire. Yes, we indeed. We haven't gone through all of them yet because there is some unforeseen circumstances that I couldn't be in the country, but we're making it up now. And today, guys, is not going to be the exception. For some of you that just came across my YouTube channel or my podcast, or as you know, we are all over social media. So as you can see here, if you've come across, I am Lizzie. I'm right here in Toronto, Canada, and I am so excited to be able to bring you here incredible people with incredible stories and wow, and entrepreneurs. And today you're going to see that you are going to experience someone who has a vision, who has a startup and is doing amazing. And if you have questions, please do not hesitate to connect with us. Our YouTube channel is open, and you're able to connect with us or say hello. Facebook as well. Chat with us, say hello, congratulate this incredible lady that has been nominated as a Woman on Fire 2025. So there's so much to celebrate still since it happened. But some of you know that I am a great supporter, a huge supporter of Woman on Fire. And that's one of the things that I do is support, interview, and talk to those incredible ladies that had the opportunity to be nominated. Otherwise, they wouldn't be recognized. This platform recognizes people that are doing an incredible job in the community, even if it's giving food to the homeless. Not the case today, but you will see. You will see. Before I bring her out, I just want to be able to give you a little bit of background. As you can see it on the screen, we're going to be talking to Nicole Lindsay. She is an incredible lady, and she is a visionary behind iEnvy Travel, a luxury travel agency dedicated to crafting unforgettable experiences for its client without with 7-year experience. She the in the industry, Nicole has taken eyes for detail, passion for creating worry-free experiences and journeys to the ordinary people. Nicole specializes in crafting exceptional group travel experience. She also excited to help everyone with their next travel adventure, whether it's a romantic getaway or adventure escape, a cultural immersion. Nicole ensures that every trip is tailored to perfection. Her commitment to exclusive perks and upgrades sets iEnvy Travel apart and making every adventure uh, iEnvy worth experience. And I think that's the name, iEnvy Travel, I think. But we're going to be talking to her and finding a little bit more details, what inspired why she decided to get into this industry, especially nowadays. I have so many questions for her, but let's not delay. Let's welcome her with a wonderful round of applause. Hello, Nicole, and welcome to the LizyT show this evening. How you doing?
I am great. Thank you very much for having me. So I'm excited to be here.
Pleasure, honor is all ours. And by the way, congratulations for being a nominee of Woman on Fire. Well, we're going to be talking about that a little bit later on. First of all, Nicole, I want to know a little bit more about you, the person, not just the entrepreneur, not just the business person. I want to know a little bit more about you. Is Nicole has a significant other, kids?
No, but if
Tell
you
us
know
a little
somebody, I'm available. I'm single. Woo! No. No, I don't have a significant other, but like I said, I'm open. I am a mother of two adult children. two fabulous children, I might add.
Oh, wow.
And I'm a grandmother of a little boy. He's
Oh,
almost two. He's almost 2 years old. So he keeps us very busy and on our toes when he's here. By day, I also am a trained accountant as well by day,
oh,
and then
wow.
travel is also my business venture that I'm working on right now as well.
Wow. It's interesting that as a startup, we always, and same here. I mean, I've started this promoting and doing things like that with it's always the startup is the hardest part. So tell us a little bit about what inspired you, Nicole, to get into this type of industry, especially nowadays. I mean, let's talk about it. It's people go online, they're not using agencies as they used to. I remember, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I mean, you wouldn't think go on the internet and purchase your own vacation trip. You would go to an agency, you sit down with someone and you've explained, this is what I'm dreaming for my trip, and she or he will help you to customize that. And now people are doing it on their own. So I'd say that's a challenge. But tell us, my first question: what inspired you to start the Envy Travel? And I assume the
Um,
name Envy is
it's
on
iEnvy.
purpose.
It's iEnvy travel
Envy.
actually, as in
Okay.
I envy you, and we're taking you
Oh, thank you for correcting
everywhere
me.
where everyone wants to be. So we want to make you the envy of everybody's desires, if you will. So what inspired me originally when I first got into travel was like I said, as a single mom, you're working, but things get expensive, and I needed to find another form of income. So I was doing a whole bunch of different things. I was like catering, helping catering on the side as a server, working in banquet halls. I worked at FedEx as a cargo handler. I was doing all these kind of jobs, and they were actually taking me away from my kids more instead of giving me more time. So I basically just drilled down and figured out what is your passion? What do you like to do? And travel was it. My sister had was doing some travel on the side, and I met some other ladies who were doing it. So I actually found a host agency where I can actually still use their resources to assist me in the industry, but then at the same time, I can still be independent and craft my own business and niche market. So, like you said, when I first started out, everybody has the internet. They could do whatever they wanted on the internet, pull their things. So, what I had to do was find an area where my services would be needed most. And when you're looking at a lot of people, a lot of the trends were changing in the industry as far as weddings, especially. Gone were the days that people felt committed to stay in town to do weddings. A lot of people now were going and doing destination weddings or doing group travel and not necessarily wanting to plan all of those group travels. So that's where the travel agent comes in, where I would just basically take over just basically tell me where you want to go. And I would source out the resorts, the activities, and all that kind of stuff, present them to you. And if you're okay, I would put the group together. So I would take care of all the payments, making sure people had the rooms that they selected. So a lot of people didn't want to have to handle all of those things. And that's, like I said, where a travel agent has come in. I'm finding now more since COVID. Obviously, nobody was traveling during COVID. I think I was probably the only one traveling during COVID. Um, Coming out of COVID, people's mindsets sort of changed because a lot of the rules changed, especially when you're going to various countries, as far as what the entry requirements were, what are the airline requirements. So there became a lot of rules. So a lot of people were traveling and getting dinged because they didn't know the rules and they didn't purchase insurance. I'll talk about that later. We're getting dinged. So this is where you show where your value add is at, or your expertise, and you add value to your client, letting you know, when you go to this country, this is what you need to know. A, B, C, D, these are the entry requirements, this is what the airline requires, and you just keep everybody abreast of everything that's going on.
Gotcha. So there is still, as you explained it to us, there's still a huge need for clientele that needs customized and that needs you to hold their hands. I mean, not everyone is computer savvy per se.
Mhm.
Some people don't know how to go on the internet and try to figure out their own deals. So there is that those clients, especially the older ones,
Yeah.
or a bride that is so busy with their own wedding that don't they don't want to deal with this destination wedding. They will leave it up to you. So I'm glad that you found that niche of people that have that need of having somebody like you, how representing them, going through uh, insurance. That we're going to be talking about that. So I'm so glad that we still have this opportunity to help people. And I'm a huge traveler. And by the way, I was traveling in COVID, so you were not the only one too. I actually loved it because the hotels were pretty empty and the
Empty. Yep.
airplanes were like, and the prices were just amazing. But anyhow, let's not go there. But yeah, there is that need, and you found your niche, you found your clientele, you found people that has that necessity of being taken by the hand, because it is challenge. Just not everybody can spend a whole day. It takes me sometimes weeks to figure something out. What
Yeah.
do you find that is most challenging for you in this industry? Is it people saying, well, I found this on the internet for cheaper or better, or a better hotel? How you overcome the challenges in this in your environment when it comes to helping someone in traveling?
Um, when it comes to stuff like that, if you will, I pick and choose my battles. To be quite honest with you, if somebody comes to me and they say that they found this for $10 cheaper, I'll just let them know, hey, you know what? I can't match that. Feel free. No, no harm, no foul. Go ahead and book it. Um, Go ahead and book it if you want to. Just because a lot of times when you try to go and search out like a cheaper price, you got to remember your time it takes you to find that cheaper price or what have. So like I said, I pick and choose my battles. If somebody finds it cheaper, I always encourage them. I said, you know what, I can't match it. Feel free to go ahead and book it, and then I will move on to the next client, kind of thing.
Right.
And then I can promise you 9 times out of 10, something happens with that cheaper booking, and then they come back to me to try to fix it. And unfortunately, once you book it, I can't help you. At least whereas if I had booked it for you originally and something happened, i.e., flight delays or the room gets messed up, you would come back to me and I would fix it lickety split for you. So, and then another challenge is that people are getting a little bit more sophisticated in
Mm-hmm.
where they want to go and how they want to travel. There's still a lot of people who like to do the all inclusives and stuff like that. But again, with COVID, a lot of people are really recognizing dipping into that bucket list. So
Yes,
they want to do a lot more traveling that's kind of off the beaten path. They want to be more environmentally friendly, and they
it's
want to do
true.
something that contributes back to the communities that they visit. And those aren't necessarily always a searchable item online. Whereas I know that I have my suppliers who do specialize in certain adventures like that and tours that help you give back to the community or just take you off the beaten path. A lot of clients now, for example, with the hybrid model, they're able to work out of the country. So
Yes.
a lot of people are booking now to stay instead of staying, that 5 to 7 days now, they're staying maybe 14, 21, and they need to be able to find somebody or some place that supports their work environment, making sure there's good Wi-Fi, making
And
sure they have
I'm glad
access
that you
to
brought
business
that up,
people.
because this is actually my next question, my
Yeah.
segue question. Perfect segue. A lot of people that are not just traveling just to have fun and to go and do the excursions and all that good stuff.
Mm.
They're looking to have those experience plus being able to work while they're there,
Yeah.
because a lot of people are remote, and
Mhm.
they want to have that accessibility to the internet, that everything works because they are working. But in the afternoon, instead of then going in to prepare supper, they want to go for excursion, and that's very important, the
Yeah.
flexibility.
Yeah.
And only you will be able to
Yeah.
help them,
There's
because it
a
is.
lot of my suppliers are offering that, especially to Europe.
Oh,
A lot of people are getting away from the Caribbean. I noticed lately, and a lot of them are starting to explore Europe more. So they are offering areas that have like flex spaces, like I said, like a full
Wow.
office setup for you attached, and so that you can stay longer, and you're not in that big rush to come back home, um, and stuff like that. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more variety as far as what you can or cannot do when you're away now.
Wow, that's incredible. What are the vacation or the places most common nowadays? Because I know it's changed in the last 10 years, especially the last 5 years after COVID. But what are the destinations that are most seeked by people out there?
I still have my diehard Caribbean folk who like to do, Mexico or Jamaica is
Right.
popular. But now, as far for the Caribbean, people are wanting to start visiting some of the smaller islands that aren't normally, like Antigua, St. Vincent, St. Kitts,
Wow.
Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, like some of the smaller Antilles islands along the side. And
Right.
then in Europe, Portugal is a hot thing right now.
Yes.
Spain, and Italy is also very popular as well. A lot of folks asking for Morocco. Is a very Morocco and,
Morocco.
and
Interesting.
Egypt. Morocco and Egypt as far as land, and then cruising. A lot of people are looking at Alaska is very popular as well, and I hear it's very very beautiful as well. And again, taking the longer routes like the transatlantics, where they'll start maybe in Florida, 6 days across the Atlantic, and then sail around Europe for a little while.
So before I forget, Nicole, I don't want to, I want to make sure that people know where they can reach you. So the website is,
Oh, it's www.ienvytravel.ca,
so you'll
or
be
you
able
can,
to see it down
yep,
here, everyone.
there,
Perfect.
or you can find me on Instagram at ienvytravel. And then if you want to email me, it's info@ienvytravel.ca.
Beautiful. And just in case, everyone, if you are not sure that you got the spelling and you are want to make sure that this is the website, this is what you're looking at right now, and it's on over here. That's what you're looking at. So it is lovely. I love the website. I love everything. I mean, I see this, and the first thing I want to do is just take a plane just like that and go in a place like this. Wow, it's incredible.
Yeah, and when you
I
check my website out, I do have a few blogs on some, hot places to go. I'm actually advertising a trip to Japan next year to cruise to see the cherry blossoms and stuff like that. So I usually try and put a lot of information on there, but then also on my Instagram page, I'll have like quick little quirks, how to pack. What do you bring with you if you're going here? Some things you need to know about Wi-Fi on planes and stuff like that. So, I try and be as informative as possible
And
as
that's
well.
awesome. That's awesome. I mean, we don't have this is an environment at times right now that people are rushing and they're doing things. It's kind of trying to play catch up for what happened in the last 5 years. And people
Yes.
want to be able to I hear sometimes I don't know, we might have another pandemic. So let's enjoy now. So everybody's in the rush of
Do something.
experiences. I mean, Instagram is exploding people of pictures of people posting their pictures in places that you have never heard of. It's just
Yeah.
like you mentioned right now, and there's that rush of trying to beat up time. Whether you're going to be able to do that or not, that's a totally different story. But prices has come down. Let's talk about the elephant on the room, Nicole. Um,
What's that?
the trips to Florida, which it used to be, especially now that we're going into summer break, a lot of students are off to school, including mine. And Florida used to be the place, but that Canadians used to go because it's closer, it's cheaper. It was cheaper, and we didn't have the issues that we're having with the president now. How is this going to impact people that are going there or even have to go to Florida to go through the cruises and things like that?
Um, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I've had a few people actually cancel
Wow.
some things that had to like two couples canceled their cruise to the Caribbean that left out of Florida, and then I just redirected them on something else. But people are being very cautious, actually
Right.
myself included. Like I just drove across to the states
Okay.
2 weekends ago. For me, it was no issue. Like I have a Nexus card, so they didn't really bother me too much going across. but I know that some people do have some issues. People are just being very cautious because you don't know what immigration officer you're going to get,
That is the thing.
what kind of mood they're going to be in that day. You may smile at them too hard or say the wrong thing that you think is completely innocent, and they may decide, you know what, let's go pull you over and let's search you, and even possibly to detain you. Um,
Secondary, yeah.
yeah,
Put
secondary
on
infraction and
secondary
stuff
for
like that.
no
But
reason.
for no particular reason,
Mm,
I just encourage people that if they are going, just make sure all your documentation is in order.
yes,
Especially if you're like a landed immigrant or you're not a permanent resident just yet. I would encourage you probably just to stay home personally, because they may take that a different way, and if you don't answer their questions correctly, you could be in a totally different situation.
right.
I know that I did have some people who had to do a cruise, and they were a permanent resident, and so they're required to get a visa to travel to the U.S. And the
Wow.
waiting time for the visa is over a year to just to get an appointment.
No way.
Yeah,
So, bottom line is if you are considering traveling to the States at this time, maybe you might want to change your plans, or especially if you're not a Canadian citizen, maybe this is not a good time to do
yeah,
it. So,
yeah. And if you, like I
um,
said, if you do go, just make sure your documentation is in order. Your passports has enough, months on it. If you're using your next, just check your expiry dates.
right,
Just making sure all
right.
your paperwork is in order, so there's no reason for them to,
So
you
you
know,
are seeing the drop on traveling
yeah,
to
I'll
the
be honest
States
with you. I
this
have
year.
no one. I have booked no one to go to the U.S. this year, which is very.
Wow.
What are we in? We are in May, and I have not booked anyone to go to the
And
U.S.
that wasn't the case last year.
No, it was not. It
Wow.
wasn't.
Well, and on that hand, I love traveling within Canada myself and the Caribbean. Obviously, the prices in Canada probably are going to get a little bit more expensive because people said, instead of us going to Florida this year, or places like New York, you were saying Boston, let's just
Mhm.
enjoy what we have here in this beautiful country. So things are going to get a little bit more busier in Canada, which is a good thing, is it helps our economy, but vacancies and hotels and flights are probably not going to be as what it used to be, right?
No, actually, the flights in Canada already are a little bit challenging and a little bit. Some can be a little bit pricey just because of some of the limited routes
That's right.
that the airlines offer within Canada. But I do have a lot of people who are exploring, especially Ontario. You don't necessarily need a flight for Ontario.
It's true.
You can drive to Montreal. There's Ontario itself is there's so many things to do within
It's true.
Ontario, and we have a lot of great suppliers in Ontario that can give you packages to help you out as far as a weekend stay, a week stay. Again, if you don't mind doing the drive, maybe to Montreal or Ottawa or something like that. But yes, Canada has some lovely, lovely, lovely. I don't think Canada is explored enough. I always
Hmm.
say geographically, horizontally, when it comes to travel, Canada doesn't exist because most people go up and down. Like they'll go
That's
Canada,
right.
US. Horizontally, there's not a lot of that, but I am seeing a lot more horizontal travel, especially to Montreal. Like for example, Club Med now has a all inclusive in Montreal.
Oh
It's
wow,
like one of
that's
the
news
only
for
all
me.
inclusive. Yeah, I think one of the only all inclusives in Canada that I know of, and it's not too far off. And Club Med is
Mhm.
an all inclusive thing, so you get your meals, your drinks, everything included. And
Wow.
in the wintertime, it's great for skiers if you like to ski. If you don't want to go to all the way to Alberta to Banff, this is like another alternative for you. So quite a few things within Canada. Then you have like the East Coast. Got to get that lobster. The
Mhm.
seafood and everything
Mhm.
like that. Or you can go on the other side to Vancouver, which I hear is really nice, and do some whale watching. So there's still a
Mhm.
lot of things to do within Canada.
I hear you. This is one of the reasons last year my husband and I would say, you know what, enough of exploring the world. Let's see what we have here in our own country, and
Very beautiful.
that's what we started to do. And we were in for surprises. The places, especially at East and West, are just incredible, and we're going to keep going. So yeah, definitely, it's a place for. And I envy you travel a place for us to check it out. The website, everyone, is right here, and you can see it on the screen right now. There is beautiful pictures, and there's so much to explore. So give Nicole a call or check it out and connect with her. Nicole, let's talk about Woman on Fire. So, first time participating as a nominee, Woman on Fire.
Actually, yes, it is. Actually, I wasn't a nominee. I was one of the suppliers for
Okay.
Women on Fire. But I got to. It was a great experience. There's nothing like being in a room full of business women, like-minded. The
Mm.
energy that you get, you will not leave the same way that you came. 100%.
Yes.
Even if you come in a bad mood or what have you, and you're like, oh, I don't really fit in, I don't, like, you will leave there so empowered. It's unbelievable. Allison does an awesome job,
Yes.
because this was my first year. Just she herself is like a spitfire. She's on fire, you know. She's on
Do
fire.
you
She
hear
doesn't
that,
stop.
Allison? I know she always watches. If not now, she will be watching this later on, and we're talking about you. So absolutely,
Yeah.
she's amazing. I've been part of Woman on Fire for the last 10 years. Have never missed one event, and this is the only year that unfortunately, I had to for uh, circumstances beyond my control. I had to miss this one, but I know that every event is overwhelming. The amount of support from one another that you get is incredible. What was the most positive part of your experience as a Woman on Fire?
Like for me, it was meeting a meeting. She gave us the opportunity as a supplier there. We had some roundtable discussions, so we would have a roundtable where each person would sit at a table, and then we would get to discuss our business, and people could ask us questions. And we did that for a couple of rounds. It was awesome getting to know all the different individuals, and also getting different ideas of things that you can do, as far as traveling is concerned, like, yoga retreats, like people planting seeds into your head, of all the different kinds of groups you could probably cultivate and work with all these individual people. So it was great. Like some stuff that I hadn't even never thought of doing before, or like running through my head and making notes. Okay, don't forget this. You gotta try this or look into this and stuff like that. It's great to be able to brainstorm, with like-minded people, and it just, like, the whole, like I said, the whole energy in the room and the different types of women in the room. Not
Mhm.
everybody was all, not like, there's maybe one or two travel agents, for example, in the room. Then you had somebody who was, counselor, career counselor, mental health, working with women, different, just a gamut of different individuals. And then those women nominees, all the things that they've done, and you listen to them, what they've done within their community as far as giving back and stuff like that, which also encourages me now, like, hey, what can I do now to give back to my community? Because I'm doing all of
Isn't
these
it?
things
It
now.
makes you it makes you want to help more. It makes you want, well, this lady, which has no means, has was able to just to give you an example from the years that I've been part of it, is able to feed the homeless.
Mhm.
And what am I doing, right? So it gives you that extra, like, I need to be doing something too. I mean,
Yeah, I'm just like, what am
I
I
don't have
doing?
the
What am I doing
times, the
anything? I need to do
funds.
something. What am I doing with
But
my life?
there is ways. When there is a will, there's a way. Absolutely. So I know that encourages, it gives you an inspiration, and that is amazing, amazing. So how did you become part of it? Like, who introduced you to the whole concept, or who introduced you to
Oh,
Allison?
you know what? When I do things, I fall into certain things by accident, and sometimes I don't remember how I got into them. Um, I think I was in one of my WhatsApp group. I'm in like a million WhatsApp groups right now.
Okay.
And I think somebody had posted something about women on fire and that they were looking for supporters. And I contacted Allison. I had a great conversation with her. Like within the first 5 minutes, I'm like, yeah, I need to be a part of this because, like I said, she's very infectious. And I think that's how I got in there. I believe it was one of my groups. Somebody introduced me as far as that, as far as
And
attending.
that you were convinced, you
Yeah,
had
within
me
the
at
first 5 minutes, she
hello.
had me. Yeah, she didn't even like tell me anything. Like within the first 5 minutes of her talking, I was like, yeah, I like that girl.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible. So is this something that you want to continue being part of? I mean, I know every year we have the gala, we have, the networking. In the summer, she runs a picnic, which I'm also usually part of it. That's something that you will like to continue to be part of because I think you create friendships, and the people that I've met 10 years ago, we're still friends, we still talk, and we don't get together as much as we should. Our lives are busy and business don't like that, but it's still, that connection that is like, oh yeah, my sister from my other mother.
Mhm. Yeah, yes, absolutely. Anything that she has, and assuming I'm in the country, I would love to help. Anything else
And
that
to
she
be part
definitely,
of.
I'll definitely be a part of it next year for sure. Whether I'll be a participant or a supplier, or maybe I'll get nominated and be one of the women on fire next year. But definitely, I know that she wants to go to Haiti to help
That's right.
with that cause. I'm not sure when she's going, but again, that's something I'm maybe not this year, but next year definitely be looking into something like that with her, doing one
You
mission trip with her.
contemplating. And what, how was the experience with the gal? I mean, Sunday is usually the day of where you get to dress up. I saw some
Mhm.
pictures. How was that? The food is always just amazing.
Yeah,
Just
the food was on
the
point. Yes, yay, Allison, food was on point. But it's also kind of nice because I'm not a dress up kind of person. So it was nice to be able to put on like a nice gown and get your hair
Mhm.
done, put some makeup on, and you look like you belong to somebody. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. So it was nice. Everybody looked very all beautiful in their nice dresses and stuff like that. We don't necessarily get to do that very often.
No.
Especially I think again, especially since COVID, because you're especially when you're home. I was home for 2 years, so
Mm,
my day work, you know, consisted of waking up, brushing your teeth, and and you're in pajamas for the whole
that's
day.
right.
So you don't necessarily get to dress up very often. So it was nice to be able to,
Absolutely.
dress
It
up a
it
little
makes you
bit.
feel, like $1,000,000. It makes you feel so good, and being part of, like you said, same mentality, same. You want to acquire more. You want your
Mhm.
business to be more out there. So this is a little extra that you needed that. It was missing for the last 2 years. So absolutely, absolutely. Nicole, what do you think? What are your plans for your business for the next year or so? I mean, you're doing really well. People are contacting you. You're growing. But is there anything, a vision that you see your business going?
Um, I like to get into more, I guess, more cultural experiences and do more things that are off the beaten path, as far as adventures and stuff. Um, do things that nobody else is absolutely doing. I do have a lot of groups, like I said before, who do like more like family reunion type things. I want to be able to encourage more, black travel, within my community, because a lot of people within my community don't think that they can afford to travel. But you can, you most definitely can, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like a lot of my community. Like for example, they go back home to the Caribbean, just to show them that there's more to life than just getting up and working every single day. You do need to have those breaks. So I want to be able to probably invite people and develop more things to let the black and brown community know that what, you can travel too, and you don't have to be a millionaire to be able to do it either.
There is ways. There is when like I said, when there is a
Absolutely.
will, there is a way, and there is affordable ways of traveling, and then there is frugal ways of traveling. And then
Yeah.
there's people that do have the millions, and but there is opportunity, and I've done that throughout my years. And people said, "How do you manage?" And I'm like, "We're budget oriented. We don't take two suitcases because you
Yeah.
pay
Exactly.
extra for suitcases. We are backpackers, and
Yeah.
we're able to meet places that otherwise we wouldn't. So absolutely, and
I think
I'm not a
also
millionaire.
traveling. Sorry. Yeah. I think also traveling outside of your circle as well. It
It's
helps you
true.
become more tolerant of other cultures and how other cultures do things. I think right now a lot of the conflicts that we have with certain cultures that people don't understand, people's way
Mhm.
of lives or their traditions and stuff like that. So I think if people traveled more and got introduced to different ways of traveling and styles of living in countries, they'd be a little bit more tolerant of the different cultures that we do have here.
One of the things that I was actually came across online was the experience of living with a family in Guatemala, to give you an example.
Yep.
So they work with that family with, they collect cacao rather,
Hmm.
and they live with the family and they have that experience for a week or two, how it's like to be in a family that has very low means, and they work collecting cacao, and that's their travel experience,
Mm.
just which I thought that is fascinating
Yeah.
for you to
There's,
be
there's
able
a
to.
few suppliers who do offer that experience as well, where you can actually live in the town for a
Right.
week or two, and then you become involved in the community and do things like that. Yeah.
And I think that those are great, especially in this country where we're very fortunate. We have
Hmm.
a lot more means than any other place in the world, and for our kids too. And one of the things that I do when I used to travel with my kids, especially to an all inclusive, this is how we spend our vacation. Let's go to the town where you can see where the real kids, the real people are. It's very,
Yeah.
very different. I wanted them to know the difference so they don't think that everybody is eligible or able to go to
To
a
a
third
resort.
world
Yeah.
country, yes, and a
Yeah.
resort and have that. So I want to make sure that they knew the difference, because we're very privileged here, and to have an experience in another country doing chores and collecting
Hmm.
or making craft, that's I think everybody should have that. Absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. Again, everyone, the website is down here. You can see it on the screen. If you have any question, please do not hesitate. We're all over social media.
Hmm.
We'll be promoting this in the next a while. So if you want to connect with Nicole, please do so. Mention, hey, I saw you on LizyT show. She is one of the participants of Woman on Fire. She is definitely a woman on fire. Thanks, Allison, for recommending this incredible lady to us. And any last word, my friend?
Other than travel, 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 travel. Like I said, travel. Broaden your horizons. Um, travel as much as you can. Don't let anybody stop you. Even if you're going to solo travel, I highly recommend solo travel as well. You actually get a chance and opportunity to know yourself, what you're capable of. But yeah, just travel, travel, travel. Expand your horizons.
Love it. Love it. And if you have any questions, again, don't hesitate to connect with Nicole. She can definitely assist you. And any questions, any doubts, solo traveling it's a lot of fun when you know where you go and what to do.
Yep,
And I've done it many times, and scary that the first time, but then it says, hey, let's do it
yep,
again.
yep. You can't spend
Let's do
time
it
with
again.
yourself. Who else is going to spend time with
Absolutely,
you?
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you, Nicole. Again, congratulations on your venture and congratulations on your business. Keep it up. We'll be connected. And again, have an amazing week. And thank you for being here. I know you
Thank
have a
you.
very busy schedule, but I appreciate your time with us. So wonderful. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll see you soon, everyone.
Okay. Thank you guys. Bye.